Good afternoon, everyone. Please welcome the graduates of 2023. everyone. It is truly my honor to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for the Department of Civil Construction and Environmental Engineering, class of 2023. I'm Jackie MacDonald Gibson, and just a few months ago, I had the real privilege of joining this wonderful department, succeeding Dr. Mort Barlas, who's here today as department head. Dr. Barlas held this position for 12 years, and he's here today as well. So to our graduates, you and your families should be extremely proud of what you've accomplished. You know, getting a degree is a real achievement under any circumstances, but especially for your undergrads, you have persisted through some really, really difficult times. Going home, second semester of your freshman year, having to entirely shift your learning mode for a long period of time, and yet you stuck through it, and here you are. You had to be extra self-reliant, and now you've earned your degree from one of the very best engineering schools in the United States. So congratulations. And I hope that the most important thing you've really learned in your education, more even than specific skills, is how to solve really challenging problems and how to do so in part of a team. And most of you will apply these skills in civil engineering problems like working on roads, bridges, buildings, water supplies, other infrastructure and critical civil infrastructure needs. And I have absolutely no doubt at all that you're going to contribute to making the world a better place for all of us. Some of you may take less traditional paths, but I know whichever way you go, those engineering skills are going to come in really handy. So I hope you take the time to really mark and celebrate this day, take a pause, and really give yourself a big pat on the back for everything you've accomplished. To introduce our valedictorian, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Shane Underwood. Dr. Underwood is Associate Head for Undergraduate Programs in our department. And like you, undergraduates, he is also a graduate of this department. He completed his undergrad degree in 2003, and also like the master's and PhD students in our audience today, he also has both of his graduate degrees here from this department. He began his faculty career at Arizona State University, all the way on the other side of the country, and it was our great good fortune to lure him back here a few years ago, we're so lucky to have him back. So it's my pleasure again to introduce Dr. Shane Underwood to continue on with introductions.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. First thing I learned when I came to NC State was to wait for everyone to acknowledge you were actually there, so I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone's coming today, both in person and via the live stream. Let me just start by saying what a fantastic group of graduates we have here in front of us today. At tomorrow's convocation ceremony at the PNC Arena, you will have officially earned a much sought-after degree in civil, construction, or environmental engineering. We have a rigorous program with high expectations of our students. Just ask them, they'll be certain to tell you that. The degree you earned from this department has provided you with the skills and tools to succeed no matter where your career path takes you. And while your success is in large part due to your hard work and commitment, it is certainly supported by your network of family and friends. So I'd like to give our graduates the opportunity to recognize the support by their family members and friends at this time. I have the distinct pleasure today to introduce and recognize not only our graduation speakers, but all of our undergraduate students who have received accolades. On the last 3 pages of your program, you'll find a complete list of scholarship and award winners covering both our undergraduate and graduate programs. As you will see, there are clearly too many to acknowledge individually. But in my role here as the Associate Head of Undergraduate Programs, I have the opportunity to see the resume of many of our students. And beyond academic performance, it is quite amazing to see what all of our students do in their spare time. And I should say spare time, if you have that doing an engineering degree. Many of our graduates have participated in undergraduate research and co-ops, semester-long or study abroad programs. Many were student leaders in one or more of our numerous student organizations, and many participated in service activities that benefited local, state, and national communities. And while all of our faculty and staff are proud of the achievements of all of our graduates here today, it is truly my honor to recognize several of our graduates who have distinguished themselves during their tenure here at NC State and in our program. First, I would like to acknowledge the 5 graduates who served the department as Civil, Construction, and Environmental Engineering student ambassadors this academic year. They were a tremendous resource for our department, and their service is greatly appreciated. I'd like to ask that the names that I recognize stand up when I call your name. I'll start with Elizabeth Bates. Elizabeth is graduating with an environmental engineering degree. She's from Charlotte, North Carolina, and is going to work as a water resources engineer at McAdams. Courtney Fry. Courtney is also graduating with an environmental engineering degree. She's from Beaufort, North Carolina, and I said that correctly. She's going to work in land development at the Cullifer Group in Morehead City. Ting Ting Lin. Graduating with a civil engineering degree from Elizabethtown, North Carolina, and she's going to be working as a staff professional too at Withers and Ravenel. Cecilia Sanchez. As you can tell by her headwear, she's graduating with a construction engineering degree. She's from Wilson, North Carolina, and is going to work as an assistant project manager with Brassfield and Gorey. Caitlin Zick. Graduating with a civil engineering degree from Hickory, North Carolina, and is going to work as an airfield civil engineering associate at RS&H here in Raleigh, North Carolina. You all have represented the department extremely well, and you surely had an impact on our ability to recruit top students into our program. I appreciate all of your efforts. It's okay to clap. This is a happy day. I want to now represent or recognize the Senior Awards. Senior Awards are presenting to graduating seniors in recognition of academic excellence and significant additional contributions to the profession. These awards are competitive and are based on faculty nominations. Departmental award winners are then nominated for the College of Engineering Award in the same category. There are 4 categories of Senior Awards, and I want to recognize our department's nominations this year. Again, when I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Elias Zalscher. Graduating with an environmental engineering degree, was nominated for the Certificate for Citizenship and Service in recognition of significant humanitarian contributions that improve the welfare of the community. Elias is from Durham, North Carolina, and he's going to pursue a PhD here at NC State. Cecilia Sanchez. Spoiler alert, she's going to be standing up quite a bit today. She's was nominated for the Certificate for Leadership in recognition of contributions of outstanding leadership on behalf of fellow students, the College of Engineering at NC State. As you heard, Cecilia is from Wilson, North Carolina, and was also a student ambassador and served as president of the student chapter of the American Society of Civil Engineers. Matthew Modishard. Graduating with a construction engineering degree, was nominated for our Certificate for Humanities in recognition of high achievement and academic standing, also showing equal commitment to a broad, liberal education in the social sciences, arts, or the humanities. Matthew's from Clemens, North Carolina, and he's going to be an assistant project manager for Brassfield and Gorey, again here in Raleigh. Our final nominee this year was Ting Ting Lin. She was nominated for the Certificate for Scholarly Achievement in recognition of technical competence, academic achievement, and scholarly performance beyond a 4.0 GPA. Ting Ting was also one of our student ambassadors and also our department nominee for the college's Faculty Senior Scholar Award. Next, I'm pleased to introduce the valedictorians of this spring 2023 graduating class. Valedictorians are graduates who earned a cumulative GPA of 4.0 with at least 100 academic credit hours taken at NC State. This year we have a total of 9 valedictorians. Again, I'll ask that you please stand when I call your name. Jenna Cartlett. Graduating with an environmental engineering degree from Cornelius, North Carolina. She's going to be moving to Washington, D.C. to work in corporate sustainability consulting. Gwyneth Cartwright. Also graduating with an environmental engineering degree. She's from Hurricane, West Virginia. Is that right? Thank you very much. She's going to be working for Kimley Horn. Daniel Friday. Graduating with a civil engineering degree from Gastonia, North Carolina, and he's going to be joining McAdams Engineering as a water resource engineer. Ting Ting Lin. Graduating with a civil engineering degree. Are your legs getting tired of standing up and down? We've already recognized Ting Ting as a student ambassador and nominee for our senior awards, and she's going to be working with Withers Ravno. Israel Jacob Choate Manley. Graduating with a civil engineering degree from Candler, North Carolina, and he's going to be a transportation engineer with Kimley Horn. Matthew Modishard. Again, a construction engineering degree graduate, is also our senior award nominee and is going to be working for Brassfield and Gorey. Duncan Pickett. Duncan's graduating with a civil engineering degree. He's also from Charlotte, North Carolina, and is going to be working with Kimley Horn in the roadway design before eventually returning to school, hopefully NC State, for city or transportation planning. Ryan Pittsinger. Graduating with a civil engineering degree from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he plans to stay at NC State, good choice, to obtain a Master's of Science in Civil Engineering. Finally, we have Anna Settlemeyer. Graduating with a civil engineering degree, she's from Huntersville, North Carolina. She's going to be working with the Timmons Group on transportation design team. Now, although NC State does not report GPAs above 4.0, we have a calculator and we know how to add. Anna is the valedictorian who earned the highest overall GPA, and according to departmental tradition, she is selected as this year's valedictorian speaker. Now, as you might expect, Anna has been a stellar student in our program. I like to speak to the faculty about our speakers to get some comments. And after sorting through about the 10 pages of positive comments that I received, they all said that she was a joy and a pleasure to have in class. One instructor talked about how she was incredibly inquisitive, always had a question or two to ask him after class was over. And then I had another faculty who described, and I'm going to quote here, a certain resourceful use of the department's computer lab to secure Taylor Swift tickets. We might want to talk about that a little bit later, Anna, and I can pick up some tips. As you can see, like all of our graduates, Anna typifies the think and do spirit. I look forward to hearing your words today, Anna, and with that, I'll hand over the podium.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Underwood, for the introduction. I didn't know that I was going to get called out like that. My name, again, is Anna Settlemeyer, and it is an honor and a privilege to be addressing you today. Congratulations to the class of 2023. Thank you to everyone who is in attendance and to everyone who has supported each of us, not only for the last few years, but for our entire lives. On behalf of my classmates, thank you to the faculty and staff in this department that have guided us and prepared us to make a positive contribution to our community through our chosen career paths. For the past year, I've been documenting each day with a 1-second video. One moment every day that highlights something that I enjoyed and I want to look back on. This is how I will remember my time at NC State. When I think about the last 4 years, I won't think about how much time I spent studying at Hunt Library or how many hours I spent on AutoCAD. Instead, I will remember all the happy times that we spent together. I will remember rushing the field at Carter Finley when we beat Clemson and Carolina, the Hal and Cal ice cream, and having lunch with my friends between classes. 1 second each day of what made my friends feel like family and NC State feel like home. I hope that all of you will think about this time in your life with joy and a sense of accomplishment. You have earned your degree from a distinguished school of engineering, an achievement of which we should all be proud. The Department of Civil, Construction, and Environmental Engineering here at NC State has enabled me to see the world around me differently, to question design decisions and think about all of the work that has gone into the roads, water systems, and the buildings that surround us. I know a lot more about soil than I ever thought I would. I even now use the word soil instead of dirt sometimes. Through our education at NC State and the career paths we have chosen, I am confident that all of us will succeed in having a lasting impact in making our communities a better place. When someone has an idea, we will be the people that they will call. We will be tasked with ensuring public safety and environmental sustainability. We will improve existing infrastructure, and we will be challenged to innovate in ways we cannot yet imagine. Although I am positive that each of us will be successful in our own ways, I think it is important to remember that failure is a necessary part of growth. Each of us knows that not everything goes to plan and not everything works out the first time you try. Somehow I still have not learned to save my files before programs crash, and they always crash. In the wise words of Taylor Swift, you have to give yourself permission to fail. You have spent 4 years building a network of peers around you, ready to pick you up and offer support. I hope you have been reminded often that the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. I still have my mom proofread my papers, including this speech. As engineers, we must recognize that real success can be a slow process that requires hard work and embracing obstacles. You don't need me to remind you of the challenges we've overcome during our time at NC State. None of us could have imagined that we would spend weeks in quarantine or take so many of our classes online. Despite the obstacles, each of us has made it to this day through the support of our friends, family, classmates, professors, and all of the other people that make up our pack. As you begin the next chapter and move on from NC State, I encourage each of you to spend at least one moment each day appreciating how far you have come and everything that you have to look forward to. We will have to develop a new pack as we move forward in our careers and in our lives, not to replace the one that we have formed here, but to add to it. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday, as poet and author Khalil Gibran once wrote. Value the memories that we have made here, but more importantly, embrace the unknown that is ahead. The best that we can do is survive and advance and learn and grow from our missteps along the way. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments. It's been an honor to be one of your peers. Thank you, and go Pack.
Thank you, Anna. I would now like to ask all of those graduates who were inducted into the Order of the Engineer to please stand. Participation in the Order of the Engineer is voluntary. It is not based on academic standing, nor does it hold any professional certification. These students recited the obligation of the engineer at a ceremony in Reynolds Coliseum on Wednesday afternoon. As you can see, we have dozens of our graduates participate in this ritual, where they make a personal commitment to practice ethically and fairly and to consider public safety and the well-being of the built and natural environments in their profession. Thank you. finally, those are the words you've been waiting for, I think, I'd like to recognize those graduates who are members of Chi Epsilon. Chi Epsilon is an honor society of students, alumni, and faculty of departments of civil, construction, and environmental engineering. It was originally founded in 1922 and is a society dedicated to the purpose of maintaining and promoting civil engineering as an ideal profession. Members uphold the honor of the department by high scholastic ability and belief in the broad principles of scholarship, character, practicality, and sociability. I'd like to ask all the members of Chi Epsilon to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. This year's Chi Epsilon speaker is Matthew Modishard. He is completing his term as president of the society. This is just one of the many roles that Matthew has had here at NCSU. One of Matthew's advisors summed it up best, I think. Matthew does it all: a minor in business, co-op, 4.0 in construction engineering. He plays the trombone in the NCSU marching band. I believe he's also in the pep band, if I'm not mistaken. He serves as an ASCE, that's the American Society of Civil Engineers officer, and he is active and engaged in everything he does. He is truly an outstanding student in every possible way. So Matthew, with that, I'm going to hand over the podium to you.
I'm a bit taller, so. I promise we did not coordinate this, but we kind of have similar messages, so just bear with me. And thank you, Dr. Underwood, for the introduction. As I sat down to write this speech, I wanted to reminisce back on my time here at NC State, thinking about the feeling of the first engineering class that we sat in, or rushing the bell tower after beating the blue schools down the road, or just grabbing ice cream with friends in Tally on a random day in the middle of the semester. And I kept thinking, but I thought back to a quote I heard during my first year here. This quote is from our legendary basketball coach, Jimmy Valvano. And for those that don't know, Jimmy Valvano guided our men's basketball team to its historic run in the 1983 NCAA championship. When you hear his name, you probably think of his quotes about needing to think, laugh, or cry in order to have a full day, or about never, ever giving up. However, a quote that has stuck with me the most is one that he's not really well known for. That quote is, "There are 86,400 seconds each day. It's up to you to decide what to do with them." Let that sink in. There are 86,400 seconds in a day, and it's up to you to decide what to do with them. This quote speaks to the heart of what it means to be a graduate. We are now in control of our own destinies, and we have the power to decide how we spend our time and what we want to achieve in life. As we enter the next phase of our lives, we will face many choices. Some will be easy, while others much, much more difficult. But no matter what, we have the power to make the most of every second of our day. One of the things that I have learned is that time is our most precious resource. Unlike money, we can't make more of it. Once a second is gone, it's gone forever. And that's why it's so important to make use of the time that we have. So what can we do with our 86,400 seconds each day? Well, the possibilities are quite endless. You can pursue your dreams, spend time with loved ones, volunteer in your community, or simply relax and enjoy the moment. As an engineer, it wouldn't feel right to give a speech without some math involved, but don't worry, you don't need your calculators for this one. After graduating, most of us will either move on to work in the industry or continue our paths in the world of academia. So this means that on average, we will spend about 8 hours a day working, doing research, writing papers, or whatever that path might look like for you. 8 hours a day sleeping, and then another 1.5 hours each day fueling our bodies with food. Considering then 2 hours for any miscellaneous activities like showering, going to the gym, commuting, any of that, we are left with 16,200 seconds that are not already accounted for. And of course, this number does include a factor of safety, because we all know we won't get 8 hours of sleep each night. So while the time you spend doing all these other activities that I just mentioned can be impactful towards your life's goals, it's what you choose to do with those remaining 16,200 seconds that is entirely up to you. Most of us know the phrase, "Rome wasn't built in a day." However, you probably haven't heard the rest of the phrase, which goes on to say, Rome wasn't built in a day, but they were laying bricks every hour. We don't have to do everything at once. We don't have to achieve all of our goals in one day. We don't have to solve the world's problems overnight. What's important is that we use our time wisely and that we make progress toward our goals, one brick at a time. A lot of people say don't sweat the little things, and while I truly believe you shouldn't sweat the seconds that don't go your way, it's still important to acknowledge them and use those moments to fuel your drive toward your aspirations. Although seconds are short and brief, they can add up quickly and will build on each other, eventually leading to a critical moment when your goals are finally achieved. Seconds matter. 1 second can change the trajectory of your life. 1 second can even change history. For Jimmy Valvano's basketball team, 1 second won the 1983 NCAA championship. And for us, 1 second will declare us college graduates. As you leave college and embark on your next journey, I encourage you to remember the power of time. Use your 86,400 seconds each day to do something that brings you joy, something that makes a difference in the world, or something that helps you achieve your goals. And don't forget to take care of yourself along the way. Make time for rest and relaxation, and don't let the pressures of life overwhelm you. Remember, you are in control of your own life and have the power to create the future you want. I want to congratulate you on your graduation. Graduating with a degree in engineering is no easy feat. We have accomplished something truly remarkable, and we should be proud of ourselves. Don't let 1 second spoil your day. Put it in hindsight and move forward. When working towards your goals, I want you to remember one of Jimmy Valvano's more famous quotes that I referenced earlier. Don't give up, don't ever give up. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I can't wait to see what you will achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna and Matthew. That's a really tough act to follow. So we have one more speaker for today, and I think the bar is set really high by these two. It's my pleasure to introduce Rhett McLaughlin, our graduation speaker. Rhett grew up in Harnett County and graduated from this department, magna cum laude, with a degree in civil engineering in 2000. Started down the path of an engineer, working for Black & Veatch, and then later on felt called to join his best friend from childhood, who also is a graduate of this college, to enter a brand new industry that was just developing at the time, which was internet entertainment. And so he and his friend Link Neal became partners, and they started a YouTube video series called Good Mythical Morning that my youngest son was a big fan of, I have to say, so my credibility with my kids went way up when I told them who I was getting to meet today. But that show has had 8 billion views, imagine that, 8 billion views, and it has 18.1 million current subscribers. That is not the only thing he's done with his engineering degree. He and Link also run a media company that produces video and podcast shows for other people as well. And I think I heard it said this morning that they've got about 150 employees working for their company. So maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, Rhett. But they also, if that weren't enough, they're best-selling authors. They have 2 recent books that have made the New York Times bestsellers list. The first one, Rhett and Link's book of Mythicality, A Field Guide to Curiosity, Creativity, and Tomfoolery, talks about everything they learned here at NC State and all their favorite classes and professors, right? And then the more recent book, The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek, is a fiction book that reached number 13 on the bestseller list. So welcome home, Rhett, and we're so grateful to you for sharing your thoughts and wisdom with the class of 2023.
I'm not really built for podiums. I'm surprised that made it past your fact checker. We made all that up. I don't really feel qualified to be here. I haven't done a lot of engineering over the past 20 years. I have eaten a lot of weird stuff with my best friend on the internet. Apparently that's good enough. Thank you. Thanks for having me. You may have noticed something lately as you are in the midst of this transition from whatever you're doing now to whatever you're about to do. A lot of people are doing some pretty impressive things from what I just heard. But you've probably noticed that the older people in your life are giving you lots of unsolicited advice. We cannot help it. It is built into our DNA. We see somebody going through something that is a lot like something that we went through in the past, and we cannot resist to force feed you our nuggets of wisdom. We got lots of nuggets of wisdom, and we love it when you're trapped in a room and we have a microphone and a podium. It doesn't get any better than this for us. And I am including myself in older people. I'm 45, guys. Yeah, I've got this weird haircut. Like, what's wrong? What's the one on the back of his hair? What's he doing with that? It's a man bun. Okay. I have a secret, though, from all us older people, and that is we don't have any idea what we're doing. We are making it up as we go. The only thing that we've gotten better at is appearing like we've got it together, okay? But we don't. Do not trust us. You see, that's a secret that we are not willing to share with each other or you on a regular basis, and it gives you permission to not listen to anything I'm going to say, okay? But I would like you to act like you are listening because that would help me with my performance and confidence. I would like you to close your eyes. It's going to be a little awkward. I hate it when people who are speaking to groups ask the group to close their eyes, but I'm doing it. Close your eyes, and I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I'm not going to come out there. It makes me feel awkward when people do this. It makes me feel vulnerable because I feel like maybe the speaker's going to come out and pop me in the face. I'm not going to come out and punch anybody in the face. Why would you even think that? Why would you even ask that? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to ask you to do a little thought experiment with me. I want you to imagine yourself in the future, 10 years in the future. The year is 2033. I'm no longer an engineer, but I can still do math. I'm going to ask you a series of questions about what your life is going to be like, and I want you to do your best to actually make a specific decision, a prediction as to how things are going to be. And I want you to be bold. I want you to, pick the thing that you want to happen, the ideal answer, okay? Keep it realistic now. I mean, let's be grounded. You're not going to be one of the first or the first ever civil engineer to win a Nobel Prize. No one's ever done it. You're probably not going to do it. So keep it grounded. Keep it realistic. 10 years from now, you wake up. Where are you? Are you in your parents' house? No shame in that if you are. Or are you in your own place? Oh, look at you. Okay. There's someone next to you in bed. Yes, there are still beds in 2033. Who is this in bed with you? Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Are you one of those people? It's not a snake, is it? Don't be one of the people that has a snake or a reptile in the bed, okay? It's weird. It's probably unsafe. Is it a person? Okay, all right, you got a person. Is this person someone that you know right now? Is this person someone you would like to know? They don't look quite as good in the morning, do they? Time to go to work. Okay, what's your job? Where are you going? Are you going to a job that is somehow related to what you just studied? You going to an office? Do you have your own office? Is this job in a field that you did not study for? You working inside? You working outside? Are you having fun? Okay, you can open your eyes. See, I didn't come to punch you in the face. I saw the way you looked at me. Okay. if you had asked me to do this particular exercise in the year 2000, when I was sitting where you're sitting right now, I would have gotten a lot wrong. I would have gotten one thing right. I was engaged to my wife at the time, and we're still married. Hold your applause. She looks great in the morning. I think she might be watching the live stream. She looks great in the morning. But I would have gotten everything else wrong, including my job, because, as was mentioned earlier, I got a job in an industry that did not yet exist. If you had told me in the year 2000 that in the year 2010 I would be a YouTuber, I would have been like, okay, I guess I'm going to be making personalized tubes for people. Okay. I mean, we got catheters, oxygen things, yeah. People like them different colors. That's not what it is, by the way. And the reason that I was able to get a job in an industry that didn't yet exist is because things changed so much just during the time that I was in college. But when I got to NC State, I did not have a computer, a cell phone, or an email address. I got my first ever email address when I showed up here. And when I graduated, I had multiple email addresses, a cell phone, a personal computer. And those changes that were happening to all of us at the time ended up creating this opportunity that I couldn't anticipate. And think about how much more things have changed for y'all since you started school. I mean, we talked about COVID a lot. And you had to be in school during it, but it didn't make this specific time just different for you. It's made the world different. We live differently. We work differently. We think differently because of that. Some other things have happened. Like we're kind of sort of involved in a war right now where there's a legitimate possibility that someone might detonate a nuclear bomb. Like that kind of happened. Oh, and by the way, apparently there's aliens now. That happened while you were in school. We got aliens. People started talking about it, like they're having Senate hearings about it. And maybe the most important thing, the most significant thing that you're probably already tired of people talking about is the revolution in AI that has been happening over the time that you've been in school. But you're tired of hearing people talk about it, but you're the first graduating class that is being deployed into the next step in your life in the midst of a world where there's been an absolute revolution in this, and now it's readily available to the public, and it's already changing the way people are working, the way people are learning in very significant ways. I often wonder if I could still do engineering, if this tube thing doesn't work out. And I had a little chat with my friend GPT out of curiosity, and I entered a series. I was like, first of all, I was, just no offense, guys, I was in the easy one. I was in water resources. This is the easy one, right? Right. I mean, rain, pipes, tubes, really. And I was like, what if I had to design a parking lot right now to park 300 cars, and I needed an adequate drainage system and an adequate retention pond? Could I do that? Well, yes, apparently in 12 minutes, a little one-on-one time with ChatGPT, I was able to do that. And not just that, I was able to have it generate Python code for me that could create a visualization of this parking lot with the locations of the drains. 12 minutes. That was a little concerning. Now, I will say that it repeatedly said, you really should be working with a professional engineer. So the robot overlords believe that your job is necessary, at least for now. But what is the significance of the fact that, do I think this means that your education is useless? Parents, no. But do I think there is a significance to the fact that this advanced language model that is getting better by the second already knows everything that I've forgotten about engineering? I think there is some significance to that. But I'm not going to say, well, you're not going to have jobs. No, there's going to need to be a human element in all this. But as it relates to that thought exercise, it has made your future incredibly unpredictable. And what does that mean for you? Well, unfortunately, you're humans, and we don't like unpredictability. In fact, we take a lot of comfort in orienting our present in order to increase the probability of some future desired outcome. In some ways, that's what school is, right? You're doing things now. You're making good decisions, some of you better than others. To orient the present towards a future desired outcome. And what happens when humans arrive to the future? When they arrive at that outcome? Usually it's one of two things, right? First thing that happens quite often is you arrive at some point in the future and you do not get the thing that you wanted and you are disappointed. And then sometimes you arrive at that point in the future and you get the thing that you wanted and you are disappointed. It's funny how that works. And it's so common for people to arrive at points in the future and be disappointed, regardless of whether things go right or wrong, that we've come up with all kinds of cliches and advice that you've heard before. That's the good news. Well, the bad news is you're going to be disappointed in your future. Thank you. Good night. The good news is we've all been here before, and there's actually a lot of wisdom that has been dispensed that you already have, you already know. You've heard these things before, right? Focus on the journey, not the destination. Ooh, that sounds good. Live in the present, not the future or the past. Don't spend so much time and energy thinking about what you want. Be grateful for what you have now. Have an attitude of gratitude. Get it on a bumper sticker, t-shirt maybe, tank top, yes. That's all great. It's all great. We all agree, but we have a really difficult time believing it and feeling it. You know, if when I was sitting where you're sitting, and if you had told me this, I would be like, yes, I agree with all this. Everything you're saying is right. It's about the journey, not the destination. You got to have an attitude of gratitude. But I would go on over the next 20 years to continue to attach myself to future desired outcomes and to arrive at those things. And let me tell you, this whole tube thing has gone pretty well. People are really into the tubes. I got a lot to be grateful for, but I have still arrived at these points in my life and experienced, mixed in with contentment, this disappointment. So what would I say to myself, knowing that you, probably like me, would agree with these ideas, but might have a difficult time really making it a part of the way you navigate life? Well, I had another chat with my friend GPT. I entered everything that I have said thus far into the prompt and asked it to give me a compelling, dramatic ending for a group of graduates. This is what they said. As you stand on the precipice of a new chapter in your life, dear graduate, remember to seek the nourishment of happiness within the fertile soil of personal growth and the present moment. Though the allure of future achievements may beckon, entwining your contentment too tightly with their attainment can leave you adrift. It's natural to dream, but let your heart remain rooted in the here and now, for it is within this balance that you will truly flourish as you embark on life's grand odyssey. Y'all gonna clap for a computer? Okay, listen. I was not that impressed with what ChatGPT had to say. I didn't find it all that compelling. And you know why? And maybe you agree, is that I knew that that perspective did not come from human experience. It came from human mimicry. It didn't come from someone that can experience disappointment. It came from something that has learned how to talk like someone who can experience disappointment. And so, instead of leaving you with that, I'll leave you with this. You are going to experience disappointment at various stages in your life. You're going to get to something, like I said, whether it goes right, whether it goes wrong, you're going to get there and you're going to be disappointed. And when you feel that disappointment, realize that it's a gift. The disappointment is a gift that you can take and use it to chip away at your attachment, your very human attachment to specific desired outcomes. And never stop chipping away at that attachment. You'll probably never completely sever it, but you got to keep trying. And also, if your computer becomes sentient, starts doing weird things, take your disappointment and sever the power cord. Okay? Thank you.
Well, wow, that's an impossible act to follow now, but I did want to make a note that Red said that the secret of adults is that we really look like we have everything together. I'd just like to say that I'm still aspiring to that, and it seems unachievable at this point in my life. But anyway, as we wrap up, get ready to congratulate our graduates here. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Tarek Aziz, who's our coordinator of undergraduate advising, and he is going to present the undergraduate degrees. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. This is gonna be really great to follow Rhett's speech now. Also because I'm a little bit shorter than Rhett, just a little. So I want to begin by congratulating you all. I'm very proud of you all, and you've worked very hard to get here, so congratulations. I'm very honored to read the names for all of our graduates, but I do want to add a quick note that we had some little errors in our program, and so I have attempted to add all the names in the right spots for those that have told me, and you should be in the right seating arrangement as we read the names. But for anyone that wants a copy of an updated program with all of the names, you can email us and we'll get you a copy of the updated program, okay? All right, so I want to first of all, thank Rachel Ayers. Rachel Ayers is our student service specialist, and she has really done a lot, along with Jody, to plan this event and organize things, so thank you very much, Rachel. And then I want to describe the honors qualifications. So I'm going to be reading civil, then construction, then environmental engineering, and I'm going to go in orders of these honors qualifications. So Dr. Underwood already talked about valedictorian. This is with highest honor, a GPA of 4.0, and it's distinguished by a gold sash. Then we have summa cum laude, which is with highest honor, and this is a GPA of 3.75 or above, distinguished by also a gold sash. Then we have magna cum laude with high honor, GPA of 3.5 to 3.74. Distinguished by a silver sash. And lastly, we have cum laude with honor, and this is a GPA of 3.25 to 3.49. Okay, so with that, if we can have the civil engineers, I'm going to present the Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering now, starting with the valedictorians, Daniel Friday, Ting Ting Lin, Israel Jacob Choate Manley, Duncan Pickett, Ryan Pitzinger, Anna Settlemeyer. Now summa cum laude. Yep. Come on up. Eric Allspaw. Campbell Bratton. Jesse Culp. Muhammad Al Hariri. Leah Gottlieb. Claire Hill. Hunter Hoyle. Benjamin Kintner. Rebecca May. Gabriela Piero. Chance Toledo. Juniper Ella Walter Eager. Zoe Yana Grace West. Magna cum laude. Alexander Abrams. Will Ash. Kevin Ballesteros. Jordan Alexander Bastian. Chancellor Cardwell. Andrew Chalopecki. Michael Enlow. Josie Fisher. Ashlyn Fry. Kendon Gann. Drew Lentz. Julie Lucille Miles. Pedro Morales Mendoza. Gray Subat. Colson Teal. Cade Thompson. Orion Yantz. Caitlin Zick. Cum laude, Carson Calcutt. Mitchell Cross. Andrew Healy. Mason Hodges. David Honeycutt. Mirabella Javelinia. Joshua Parsons. Braxton Powell. Ivan Rosales Flores. Willie Rumbos. Kyle Tran. Kyle Wilson Warren. All right. Others with a Bachelor's of Science in Civil Engineering. Will Adams. Haven Bailey. Carolyn Bentley. William Boswell. Clay Michael Birch. Carlisle Faye Carroll. Austin Logan Carter. Nika Kayabyap. Leon Chin. Ayman Shichi. Marco Cisneros Silva. Emery Culp. Michael Curcio Jr. Jalen Deathrage. Evan Dolkus. Tor Engel. Ethan Everett. Abner Galliano Jr. Ty Galloway. Brian Gamble. Gray Hall. Cesar Hernandez Para. John Hensley. Clayton Henson. Paris Hunt. Hunter Jones. Jarius Lassiter. Jack Logan. Quinn Lowe. Harrison McDowell. Zachary Militello. Matthew Mugini. Reese Nuxel. Emma Grace O'Connell. Jack Penix. Michael Rayner. Brandon Renteria Rios. Tyler Resendez. Ella Rollinger. Osmar Sanchez. Will Sherrill. Eric Skinner. Yale Stoltz. Savannah Ray Taylor. James Tooley. Ben Verchick. Caleb Vi. Lauren Wally. Yates Weaver. Matthew West. Anna Zefang. And that concludes the degrees for the Bachelors of Science in Civil Engineering. Let's give all those students a round of applause. Now for the Bachelors of Science in Construction Engineering, valedictorian, Matthew Matashard. Summa cum laude, Nathaniel Kurtz. Magna cum laude, Wilkerson Garrett. Cum laude, Cecilia Sanchez. Austin Stella. Others with the Bachelor of Science in Construction Engineering, Dejun B. Brian Donnelly. Justin Edwards. Nicholas Keppa. Isaac Battle Nichols. Juan David Orozco. Sydney Richmond. Branyan Spigner. And that concludes the Bachelors of Science for Construction Engineering. Let's give those students a round of applause. Now for the Bachelors of Science in Environmental Engineering, valedictorian, Jenna Carlett. Gwyneth Cartwright. Summa cum laude, Michael John Blumenstock. Brennan Bogie. Catherine Ellis. Galen Haig. Hiromu Koyama. Magna cum laude, Carter Day. Mitch Edney. Isabel Hipp. Julia Maddox. Daniel Reyes. Emily Rittberger. Jake Rowe. Helen Steffens. Jacob Wines. Elias Paley Zauscher. Cum laude, Elizabeth Michelle Bates. Jackson Brown. Sydney Crisanti. Jasmine Hayden Lowe. Jimmy Lewis. Eleanor Neer. Others with the Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Engineering, Talal Al-Jahani. Grant Booker. Samuel Bittner. Ray Dawood. Ethan Emmerich. Courtney Fry. Ian Hubertus. Haley Sicknick. Lindsay Starnes. And Ling Zhang. That concludes the Bachelor's of Science in Environmental Engineering. Let's give our students a round of applause. So now I would like to turn it over to Dr. Ranjithan for the presentation of the graduate degrees.
Good afternoon. Like Shane said, I want to be heard. First, I want to take this opportunity to thank Miss Gregorish, Jody Gregorish. She's the Graduate Services Coordinator who takes care of all the needs of all the graduate students all the way from admission to graduation. Thank you. We will now recognize and award the master's and doctoral degrees for students who have successfully completed their graduate studies in civil engineering or environmental engineering. As I read the names of the graduates, you might notice that not all are here to receive their diploma in person. This is because not all graduate students complete their degree requirements necessarily at the end of the semester. They may be already working and then pursuing their professional career. Also, some of our master's graduates complete their degree through our distance track program, and they're not always here to receive it in person. Nevertheless, I will read the names of all graduates. Here are the graduates who earned a Master's of Civil Engineering degree. Brandon Ashton. Subham Bankahele. Bhushan Sanjay Bol. Sai Chan Bolineni. Samuel Todd Roja. Alex Luke Bujanovic. Vanya Bukalek. Mohammad Jawad Haidari. Hannah Frances Hiscott. Juan Andreas Iscoredo. Benedicti Annie Jacob. Peter Donald Niesler. Monica Pinakin Leroux. Kylie May. Rukesh Manuru Subbareddy. Harold Muniz. Andrew Davis Musselman. Tanner Henry O. Gaffarul R. Page. Ela Parasha. Sai Hrutik Plaza. Jaime Enrique Preciado Castillo. Vishal Nansaheb Randheb Have. Molly Strong Reed. Grayson Hunter Shackelford. Anil Siefu. Eric Royal Snebly. Thomas Harrison Talon. Scott Burnett Thompson. Sydney Nicole Tickle. Richard Joseph Torbett. Angelica Castillo Velasco. Lohari Yelbolu. Lisa Jane Zhang. Graduates who earned a Master of Environmental Engineering degree. Aaron Christopher Carlson. Caroline Elizabeth Harris. Raven McLaurin. Lakshmi Muralidharan Pillai. Nathan Scott Simmons. Michelle D. Stevens. Here are the graduates who earned a Master of Science degree who completed a thesis in addition to their coursework. Faria Ahmed. Maria Carolina Aparacio Alves. Kingston Eli Armstrong. Jessica Frances Gorski. Ganta Krishna Mohan. Linda Odiambo. Jatin Nimawat. Josu Alberto Pazmina. Sofia Maria Rosenberg. Serena Lane Viola Sowers. That concludes the master's degree awards. Next, we will award the Doctor of Philosophy, that is a PhD degree. This is the highest academic degree awarded in our department. These doctoral graduates have successfully completed a dissertation on cutting-edge research related to civil infrastructure systems such as roads, buildings, bridges, energy, water, flood protection, etc., that we all depend on every day and take for granted. It is a tradition for the academic code to be placed on the new PhD graduate by some person who has already earned a PhD. A faculty member will accompany the graduate onto the stage to place the academic code. Here are the recipients of the doctoral degree in civil engineering. Yazid Saad Al-Ghurani, mentored by Dr. Call. Nancy Lee Alexander, mentored by Dr. Kanape, who will be hooding her. Siddharth Banerjee, mentored by Dr. Jaselkas, who will be hooding him. Ashley Sarah Bittner, mentored by Dr. Grisha, who will be hooding her. Lan Chang, mentored by Dr. Kanape, who will be hooding her. Hannah Shimolevsky, mentored by Dr. Ranjitan. Oh, that's me. And I'll be hooding her. Gyun Hoon Shun, mentored by Dr. Williams and Dr. Raphael. Sean William Daly, mentored by Dr. Harris, and she will be hooding him. Urmi Devi, mentored by Dr. Patrick. James Derek East, mentored by Dr. Menendez. He'll be hooding him. Pega Gasami, mentored by Dr. Montoya, who will be hooding her. Boris Goenaga, mentored by Dr. Underwood and Dr. Castorina. Dr. Underwood will hooding him. Mohammed Mehdi Hasnat, mentored by Dr. Badaka. Megan Mary Johnson, mentored by Dr. Menendez, who will be hooding her. Aditya Keska, mentored by Dr. Johnson, who will be hooding him. Samrin Ahmed Kusum, mentored by Dr. Ducoste and Dr. Purgas. Dr. Ducoste will be hooding her. Doyun Lee, mentored by Dr. Han, who will be hooding him. Xian Luo, mentored by Dr. Johnson and Dr. Menendez. Both will be hooding her. Thomas Na, mentored by Dr. Montoya and Dr. Cabaz. Both will be hooding her. Apparently, some hoods are heavier than the others. Asmita Narodi, mentored by Dr. Balas, will be hooding. Danushka Kumarahami Palipana, mentored by Dr. Proestos, who will be hooding her. Path Ajay Kumar Patel, mentored by Dr. Gupta and Dr. Wu. Asmain Rafat Sharia, mentored by Dr. Gabber and Dr. Montoya. Dr. Gabber will be hooding him. Jessica Supata Thangjatam, mentored by Dr. Kowalski, who will be hooding her. Tongshuan Wei, mentored by Dr. Frey. Dr. Grishap will be hooding him. That concludes all the graduate awards. Congratulations to all the graduates of May 2023. And
All right, well, congratulations to all the graduates. You are now joining a group of more than 14,000 people who've gotten their degrees from this department, dating all the way back to 1896. I'm not going to delay the parties, but I did just want to acknowledge a couple of other groups of people. Our faculty are, as you know, absolutely critical to the success of the mission, and we have extraordinarily dedicated, hardworking faculty. Many of them are here today. I'm not going to introduce them by name because this day is really about the students. But our faculty, please stand up. None of our students could achieve what they've done, obviously, without your dedication. And the second group is the incredible staff who provide all of the support that kind of keeps this organization running. And so you've heard about Rachel Ayers and Jody Grigorich, and they're really the ones who guide students through the process and make sure that they complete all the requirements for their degrees, but also making today possible. We have many other staff, including Amy Alexander, Eva Stansel, and Taylor Wanba. So would all the staff please stand up, including Jody, Rachel, Amy, Eva, Taylor, if you're here, and Jessica Valdez. All right, thank you so much for coming, everybody, and congratulations to all of you students and everybody who helped support you on your way. Please join us in rooms 7 and 8 for a reception. And then I hope you all have a wonderful weekend with lots of celebration ahead to mark this occasion.